Otherwise, are you well, my oaks, my oaketters, and my ocarinos? My name is Will, and welcome to the inaugural episode of the inaugural series.
Let's utilize the data insights and synergize with the corresponding team.
Over here at Wharrgarbl Studios called The Audio Trip.
I'm tripping balls right now!
In this series, we're going to be trying various pieces of audio gear, from headphones to amplifiers, DACs, streamers, subs, speakers, but it comes with the important caveat that I am not an audiophile, which is kind of ironic, seeing as how I've spent most of my life making music in one way, shape, or form. I never really cared or considered what I was listening to my music through.
Don't care, still don't care.
It was always about what I was using to make music. And if I'm honest, the inspiration for this channel, as you can see from the thumbnail, was Dankpods.
Oh, my Pooksel.
Watching his content inspired me to take a look at what I was using to enjoy my music, and not just what I was using to create my music. There's probably not going to be the top of the range, most expensive equipment that could possibly ever be showcased here, because quite frankly I can't afford it.
Insufficient funds!
I feel that there's actually quite a lot of people who are in the same position that I am in, where you're interested in audio, interested in taking that step. You want to see sort of what can I get for my money, but not just looking at sort of the most amount of, obviously everybody wants the most amount of bang for the least amount of buck, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're only going to be looking at the cheapest of the cheap.
Make up your damn mind.
It's going to be what fits my needs, and hopefully that is going to provide some sort of value for you guys. There's going to be a lot of audiophile slang and terminology that I'm going to misuse and abuse and not even fully understand, and so throughout this process there's going to be a series of unboxing videos, there's going to be a series of reviews, and there's also going to be some retrospectives where, as I learn throughout this process, I'll go back and revisit some of the gear and see whether my opinions still stay the way they are.
No one cares about your robot fan fiction.
Because I'm not going to lie, probably a lot of the initial reviews are just going to be, this is freaking awesome. And as I experience more expensive gear or gear that's more suited to my needs, those original perceptions will change. In this inaugural episode, we are going to be talking about the Samson SR850s. Take a look over there. From a starting point, what do these things sound like? Well, given that my previous audio experience was limited to the headphones which come with your cell phone or your iPod or whatever media player you happen to use, essentially I have a very low reference point.
You know nothing.
Will.
I did have a set of, still do actually have a set of Sennheiser Bluetooth headphones, but I feel that they, along with those other items of audio gear, represent what an average user would also be using. So I feel my impressions would probably be quite close to someone else who are picking up these headphones. And right off the bat, I've got to say that I was completely and totally blown away by the experience of using open back headphones. Compared to either using in-ear earbuds or closed back Bluetooth over the ear or on-ear headphones. These really changed the way that I experienced music.
How's this, Goodwin?
It's beautiful!
In the sense that I really got a taste of the sound stage.
So good and tasty?
Because these headphones have of an open back design, they are afforded the chance to create a broader scape, and you almost feel as if you are sitting inside the practice space or the orchestra pit. Using these headphones was the first time I ever experienced something like that, and it was a revelation for me.
The prophecy is true.
I found that on certain tracks, one of the reference albums that I used for this was The Ego Trip by Scary Goldings.
It's a trap!
And that's a particularly awesome example of a really well mixed album, in my opinion. I felt as if I was sitting inside the band practice space. I could feel the bass.
All your bass are belong to us.
I could position each of the individual instruments quite clearly within the soundscape. I could articulate exactly the hi-hats are to the slightly upper left, whereas the bass is this all-consuming sort of experience where you feel like you're almost sitting in and letting the bass wash over you.
That was really
Chunky.
I never experienced anything like that before, and it felt like a Damascus experience for me. I really felt that everything was positioned very true to how the engineers mixed the music that I was listening to.
If you could please hurry the fuck up, it would be greatly appreciated.
And I felt that that was not specific to genre. Say, for example, if you're listening to something like metal, where everything's really forward, something like Havoc's Time Is Up, it doesn't mean that there's not separation between instruments, but you really feel like you're getting hit with that wall of sound. Whereas where something's more open and spacious, you're really getting an opportunity to hear all of the instruments breathe. The mid-range was really quite flat. I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm going to be putting up a graph of the headphones on the screen now. This graph I actually got from Home Studio Basics, another awesome YouTube channel. I suggest you go check it out if you're at all interested in headphones. I've heard that these headphones have been described as sibilant, and that means there's an emphasis on S sounds and hisses, like a s. And some people can find that to be quite fatiguing, so it's tiring on your ears as you listen to these headphones over an extended period of time. But I mean, I never actually found that, and I found the high end to be really detailed. You can pick out a lot of subtleties and a lot of really interesting features on things like cymbal hits. One thing that I found particularly great about these headphones was the lower mid-range and the upper bass.
checkmate.
So when I listen to the body of bass guitars and also the attack of things like kick drums, they really have a sense of urgency. And just presence, and I think that's described as being fast.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
When you listen to something with a really prominent bass guitar specifically, I think these are really going to reproduce those instruments in a really pleasing way. I will say though that even though that they are an open back design, there is actually a fair amount of low end, because based on what I've read about open back headphones, my understanding is that typically low end gets sacrificed with this design.
Where's the
bass?
You want that
Bass.
Bunny says you're good for it.
And that makes sense because the open back allows for those frequencies or those sound waves to escape.
Bass.
I actually found the low end to be quite pleasing.
Oh my.
There is a sense of not deep sub bass, but you can detect rumbles. Specifically with regards to watching content. If you're watching movies with these headphones and there's a thunderstorm, you'll be able to almost feel that rumble And I was really quite surprised by that. So overall, in my experience, the sound quality is phenomenal and a huge step up from what I was previously used to. One important thing to discuss with these headphones is the price point, because given all of these really positive qualities, the price point is absolutely ridiculous. I'll put the price up on the screen right now, but what's important to keep in mind is that I got this in a set of 2 for that price point. Not 1, I got 2 of these.
Say
because there was a bulk deal. Or it wasn't even a bulk deal. The store
What store are you in? I'm at the soup store!
had organized. This was from the manufacturer. You could just literally buy 2 pairs. And I'd imagine that that is sort of to be attractive to studios where, you know, there will be someone in a booth.
Yeah, but it's not a song. It's my life.
Who's busy listening to themselves, and there'll be an engineer as well.
Oh, hey man, I'm just checking my levels over here.
So, you know, that makes sense, but I mean, holy for the price that these things are selling at, you can't afford not to get a set of headphones.
Now it's locked in place, okay? So really, you say,
oh God, Harold, are you okay?
Actually, I didn't have it locked.
With that kind of sonic jump. Talking about comfort and durability, I must say they settle on your head really quite nicely. I never felt that there was quite too much clamping pressure. And I mean, this is by no means an original design. If you Google a picture of these headphones, you will absolutely see a picture of the headphones that these are inspired by, which is the AKG K240s. And I'd be really interested to check out those headphones and see how they compare in terms of build quality, in terms of sound, because I mean, I know that they will be a more expensive set of headphones than these, so it will be interesting to see if that jump in price gives you a commensurate jump in all those other qualities. But comfort is quite good. I will say I found that with this specific ear cup design, it is over ear, but the pads are quite bulky, which I understand is to provide comfort, but I got big ass ears. So this section of the ear cup has a tendency to press the lower part of my earlobe.
Oh my.
And over time, it does sort of become a little bit uncomfortable, which shortened my listening experience. Another thing is that parts of my ears have a tendency to jut out and press up against the foam padding, and sometimes with certain headphones it'll actually press up against the plastic, and that will cause a certain amount of pain, which I find reduces my listening sessions. I didn't find that happening with these, so you know, there's a bit of give and take there. All in all, if it wasn't for that slight feature or that slight pressing of my lower earlobe here, it would get 10 out of 10 for comfort from my perspective.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
From build, I think for the price point, you're actually getting something really well built. I mean, you can't expect, there's no metal parts here, it's all plastic.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
The pop frames are that's part of the self-adjusting headband are plastic. The actual headband itself is plastic, but it feels like it's going to take a beating. I generally like to take good care of my stuff.
Look at that face. Look at that face.
So I don't think it'll be sort of representative of general use, like wear and tear in a studio, or someone who's just going to chuck them around or throw them in a bag. But I feel that they'd be able to withstand that kind of abuse.
Welcome to science!
My only concern, and I think this is not so much a comment on these headphones in particular, but headphones that have a self-adjusting headband design and are on the more affordable side of things, there are elastics inside that actually facilitate the self-adjusting mechanism. And I feel, given how inexpensive they are, those elastics will probably go. They will probably go relatively quickly. And I feel that chances are there's not going to be much that you can do to be able to replace them or fix them. If you take these to a dealer and try and say, can I get spare parts for these, or can you fix it, they're gonna laugh at you. That's probably also one of the reasons why you buy them in bulk, you know? That's sort of a little bit of a disappointing thing for me. But I mean, bringing up the price point once again, for what you're paying, I think you can't really ask for more. These are, I feel, robust. I think they're going to take quite a beating. And I mean, my only other criticism is that I really liked, I was hoping when I looked at pictures online.
1, 2, 3.
Big shot by Wolverine.
That you get the velour ear cups.
Come over here and feel my velour bedspread.
Of which you can see on some pictures, but I've just got these plastic, fake leather ear cups, which I don't think are quite as nice.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
I mean, I feel that those are really just nitpicks more so than anything else. I had to really sit and dig and try and find things that I didn't like. Like, oh, you know, when the one part of the self-adjusting headband presses up and rubs up against the plastic there. And I mean, that's really just petty, if I'm honest. As far as functionality, as far as ease of use, as far as quality of the sound experience that you're getting from these, I really feel that you'd be stupid not to buy them and give them a try. And even if you don't like them, I would say that they're not necessarily for bass heads. Like if you like really heavy bass. These are not going to be the headphones for you.
It's not for you, Jeb.
But I feel chances are, if you are a bass head, your options as far as open back headphones are going to be somewhat limited anyway, so you can't really go in expecting that kind of experience with these kinds of headphones. But if you like to be immersed in your music, if you really like being able to pick up detail in the high end, if you like fast sort of thump to your low end, I really feel like you should check these out. And they shine on music for various genres. I've tested them on jazz.
You like jazz?
Funk. Heavy metal. R&B.
Happy birthday to you. Take out your hymnals, y'all.
Some soul. Conventional rock and roll.
1, 2, 3, 4. This is rock and roll.
I'm not really much of an electronica kind of guy, so I didn't really test them with that kind of stuff. Content, listening, you should really try these out if you enjoy things like...
That's poppycock. These people are perfectly free to do anything they like.
Audiobooks or audio drama podcasts, because they will take that experience to a whole other level for you.
It's over 9,000! What?
If a character walks across the stage in an audio drama, you'll be able to hear the footsteps move from one side to the other, assuming that it's been really well produced. Listen to that with these, and it really places you in the experience. With that, all of that being said, another important thing to note is that it's 32 ohms, really easy to drive headphones. You can just stick these into your cell phone. You don't have to worry too much about getting an external amp. I really think that these are budget golden boys for getting involved into anything that remotely approximates high fidelity audio. I think that they are going to, if you've never experienced something like this before, fatal mistake is taking in one final breath. It's going to transform the way that you listen to music. They're so easy to use.
Very easy to use.
Really easy to live with. You don't need sophisticated gear or equipment to use them. And I feel like if I continue gushing about these for too much longer, you guys are going to throw up.
I'm going to throw up, and then I'm going to die!
So on that note, I'm going to leave it here. These headphones get nothing but positive recommendations from me, aside from some slight foibles, but I will revisit this review once I've lived with them even longer and also experienced some other gear, so that I have more reference points to compare them to. But on that note, thanks very much for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to post in the comments below. What if you own these headphones? What do you think about them? Are there any competitors? Are there alternatives that you think do just as well or better? And don't forget to follow us on all our social media links, which are down in the description below. And we will see you guys again soon.